Hello, good morning, and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation, the channel that brings you your team every single day, the channel that brings you all you need to know about Glasgow Rangers, all the latest news, all the latest rumours, all the latest speculation, transfer links, updates, interviews, podcasts, live streams during the season, guys, just literally everything. And you know what? We charge you for this service. We charge you nothing to bring you all the latest news. We do it because we are a fan-driven channel. It's a channel that is run by the fans for you, the fan out there. So please hit that sub, ring that notification bell, set it to all so you don't miss out on any of the great content. You always get that reminder on your mobile device or on your computer. And obviously as well, if you can give this video a like, guys, I would appreciate it. It does help spread the word and show that Glasgow Rangers are one of the biggest teams in the world, and definitely 100% better, bigger, and more important than that lot from across the city. We're going to talk about a few things this morning here on Glasgow Rangers Nation on our morning news section. We're going to talk obviously about the signing from yesterday, Dijon Sterling. We're talking a little bit about Dijon Douvikas, the striker from FC Utrecht. We're going to talk a little bit about fashion, Sakala, and also going to talk a little bit about Jack Butland. Yes, he's back. Jack Butland is back. Guess who's back? Back again. Butland's back. Tell your friends. Sorry about that. Awful singing. Anyway, let's start off by talking about this young man here, Dijon Sterling, who yesterday was confirmed as a Rangers player, and perhaps a little hint as to next season's training kit as well dropped. A little bit of a difference between this year's and last year's, but there you go. Perhaps that's a little hint to the training kit for next year. Let me know what you think. Obviously, can't wait as well for the new home shirt to come out. Now, Dijon obviously signed his pre-contract yesterday. Obviously, formally can't agree a move until the 14th of June once the transfer window opens. And I think, obviously, once the transfer window is open, I think we expect to see a number of players come through the doors and up that marble staircase to join Glasgow Rangers. Dijon Sterling is someone who joined Chelsea at 8 years old and worked his way up through the academy ranks, making his first team debut for Chelsea against Nottingham Forest in EFL Cup tie in September 2017. He obviously is, as I said on the video that I released the other day, saying about his deal being done, gained experience at loan spells at Coventry City, poor him, Wigan Athletic, Blackpool and Stoke City, and has also represented England at under 20 level. Obviously, we welcome Dijon to Glasgow, and we welcome him to the biggest team in the city and the best team in the city, and obviously one of the biggest teams in the world in Glasgow Rangers. Now, talking after he signed his contract, Dijon Sterling was very complimentary of the team and obviously complimentary of manager Michael Beale. This is what Dijon had to say. He said, "I'm excited to come to such a big club. There's a lot of history and the supporters are so passionate. So I am thrilled." When he was talking about Michael Beale, he talked about the fact that he said we were on the same wavelength. He believes in me and I believe in what he is trying to do. So it was a no-brainer for me to come here. So it's nice to see that obviously whatever Michael Beale is intending next season obviously includes Dijon Sterling, and Sterling is signed on for that. He also said, "I wasn't expecting to make my mind up about my future this quickly, but the gaffer came in for me straight away. And what he proposed to me was everything that I believe I need." So lots of positivity there about Michael Beale and obviously the club. Michael Beale commented on Dijon Sterling. He says, "I am delighted to welcome Dijon to Rangers. He is an exciting young player who I'm sure will be a great addition to our squad. He is someone I was aware of from my time at Chelsea, and I've always kept an eye on his career as it has progressed." And there we go. There's that link, isn't it? He talked, didn't he, Michael Beale, about the fact that we would see the links obviously between the players that are signed and him. Beale went on to say he's a very powerful and strong defender with fantastic attacking qualities, and I look forward to working with him at Rangers. So it is official, obviously the second signing of the summer to add to the signing of Kieran Dowell. He is here. Dijon Sterling, as obviously was strongly rumoured earlier this summer, and obviously was rumoured during the season. And a video that obviously Glasgow Rangers Nation released earlier this week talking about the fact that Dijon deal would be done this week. So welcome Dijon to Rangers. Look forward to seeing you pull on the shirt and performing for us and helping us to smash that lot from across the city. Okay, so let's move on now to a position of clear need for Rangers. Now, obviously, with the departure of Alfredo Morelos this summer, looks like he may well be on his way to Galatasaray if reports in the news are to be believed. Now, obviously, centre forward is a position of major need for Rangers this summer. And whilst there is obviously speculation regarding the future of Antonio Cholak and whether or not he will remain at the club. Now, obviously, Cholak came on Saturday and scored against St Mirren. Now, reports have it that he does wish to stay at the club. However, there are rumours still swirling that of Bundesliga interest in the Croatian target man, and rumours that Rangers may well accept a bid of around 3 to 4 million for the Croatian striker if a bid does come in. Personally, I think he would be a good depth piece and a good person to keep on the squad. You know, we do need quality, we do need strength in depth, we do need 3 to 4 good quality strikers, and Antonio Cholak could certainly be that. Cholak is someone obviously who works well against the low block and could well work well in those games against those lesser lights in the Scottish Premier League. So, you know, obviously still up in the air about his future. Now, the other day on this channel, we brought you news about a Greek striker called Anastasios Douvikas. That's right. Sort of his name, sort of getting there with his name. Not the most easiest name to say in the world. Anastasios Douvikas has been plying his trade for FC Utrecht in Holland in the Eredivisie this year. He's a Greek international, having made 15 appearances for his national team and scoring 1 goal in those 15 appearances. Okay, not brilliant, but at the end of the day, look at it this way. Let's face it, Greece, since that European Championship triumph, have not exactly done wonders in the world of international football. Now, apparently, his club side, FC Utrecht, have accepted they may well need to sell Anastasios Douvikas this summer because of the fact that he is obviously very keen on a move away from the Eredivisie. He is keen to stretch his career and take it to the next level. And apparently Rangers are one of the teams that are interested in signing the joint top scorer from the Eredivisie this year. Anastasios Douvikas shared the golden boot with Dutch wonderkid Xavi Simons of PSV Eindhoven, recording 19 goals this season for FC Utrecht, which I think is slightly more impressive than maybe what Simons did. Simons playing for the team that were placed second in the Dutch Eredivisie, obviously with better players and a higher budget in PSV. FC Utrecht, obviously with lesser players and a lesser budget than the Giants from Eindhoven. So certainly a very fine achievement from this Greek striker. Now, obviously, if you want to check out a bit more details, a bit more facts on Anastasios Douvikas, go back and check out the video that we released the other day here on Glasgow Rangers Nation. But certainly those 19 goals he scored in the Eredivisie this year have certainly raised Douvikas's profile across Europe. Now, the Greek international is someone who, like I said, Rangers apparently are interested in, have a genuine interest in this striker. He is only 23 years old and is definitely, is over 6 foot again in that mold of strikers that Rangers appear to be looking at. He is obviously someone who could come in and is suspected would be a striker who could very easily score between 20 goals and 25 goals a season in this Rangers team. Obviously, given his successes in the Eredivisie this year with FC Utrecht, and the fact, obviously, that this guy plays international football. Now, in terms of what sort of transfer fee FC Utrecht would be looking at, rumours have it that the transfer fee would be between £6.5 and £7 million for the striker. Which is still thought, despite what certain people think, to be in Rangers' budget. Given what James Bisgrove said in his interview about the fact that the transfer budget is there and investors have agreed to put in the money that Michael Beale needs to bring in the players he needs this summer, Anastasios Douvikas apparently appears to be one of those players that Beale has a genuine interest in, according to a number of reports in Dutch and British media on internet sites, media sites, Transfer Taverns, Football Insider, Rangers News, a lot of different sources all reporting exactly exactly the same thing. And obviously, as well, FC Utrecht front office staff apparently alluding to the fact that Rangers are interested in this Greek hitman striker, who is someone who they believe will develop and get even better with time. So again, someone would fit well into that player trading model. Certainly seems an interesting player to be looking at. Certainly seems to be as tasty as a gyro, which is obviously one of those Greek dishes, not the sort of things that a lot from across the city like to get on a monthly basis to pay for their tickets. So, what do you think? Anastasios Douvikas, is he the type of striker we need at Rangers? Is he the sort of player who could come in and make an impact? Look, this is certainly a position we do need to address. And the fact that Rangers have been linked with so many strikers over this past month, really does show that this is a position of need for the club. Certain players do obviously appeal more than others. The sort of Dessers and Lammers, which does sound like a law firm, didn't really appeal to me at all the other day. Ugbo was another one who wasn't perhaps appealing as much. Certainly someone I think that maybe could do a better job in a better team like Glasgow Rangers than he is at Troyes. Adding to that, of course, the links to Joel Pirot from Swansea and Josh Maja from Bordeaux, who is my personal favourite, who I'd love to see come to Rangers. Having seen Josh Maja playing live, he certainly is someone who I think could score upwards of 25 goals a season in this league. He is a very, very talented striker, both footed, quick, very, very decent. Now, obviously, as well, we are looking at a goalkeeper. Now, obviously, Robbie McCrory was not called up to the Scotland squad this week, something that has caused a great deal of consternation amongst Rangers fans who feel that he has done more than enough to merit a call-up, especially if you consider that the keepers called up to back seeming number one Angus Gunn are Xander Clark, I think the guy's name is, and Liam Kelly of Motherwell. But, it is genuinely felt that McCrory is a better keeper than both Clark and Kelly. So, the fact that obviously he is not being called up has been taken as a little bit of a slight, but that could be a very positive thing and could actually drive Robbie on to do even better, as he obviously seeks to prove himself as Ibrox number one. Now, Robbie has done well in the games that he's played, conceding only one goal. That goal obviously coming away at Easter Road, a late goal from Hanlon in the 93rd minute from a corner. But, he kept 2 clean sheets against that lot from across the city, kept a clean sheet in a Europa League tie, kept a clean sheet against Aberdeen, clean sheet against St Mirren, and did, a fine job as well. Obviously didn't play in the Hearts game where we conceded 2 goals. The only sort of worry that I have about McCrory is the fact that when Hibs and to some extent St Mirren put him under pressure in the box and packed around him on crosses and corners, he did seem to flap a little bit, and that's something that slightly is concerning, especially when you're playing at that higher level against that lot from across the city and also in Europe, in the Champions League or the Europa League. Now, apparently Michael Beale has held talks today with Jack Butland. Now, apparently a Manchester United fan and also a reporter asked Jack Butland if he was joining Rangers last week, to which he responded, maybe. Now, is that football speak for yes, or is that actually putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5? Now, apparently, according to a number of stories, Michael Beale has spoken to Jack Butland ahead of Manchester United's appearance in this weekend's FA Cup final. And Rangers are still very keen to secure the services of the 6'5" stopper. He is a big physical specimen. He's good on crosses. He commands his area well. He's a good shot stopper. He is a quality keeper, someone who has represented England. And I think I've just kind of gone through an unlucky time in terms of appearing in Premier League football. And I know there are certain concerns over him, but, having seen Jack play for Stoke, having seen him play for England, he is definitely a quality goalkeeper. Now, apparently this guy is been earmarked by Michael Beale as his number one for next season. And there have already been talks between Beale, Butland and his representatives. Now, Jack Butland is currently contracted to Crystal Palace, but is on loan at Manchester United, and it's felt that any deal will not be done or finalised until after Manchester United's appearance in the FA Cup final this weekend. It's also thought that Butland, who is anxious to play first team football, will turn down an offer to stay at Manchester United. Now, Manchester United apparently are keen to secure the services of Butland and are prepared to offer him double what Rangers are in wages. However, Butland apparently wants to play first team football and does not want to just sit on the bench. So it does seem that Butland does favour a move to Rangers, even though it would mean that he was paid less money because he wants first team football. And this can surely only be a positive. Someone who wants to come in, someone who wants to prove themselves, and someone who wants to do a great job as a number one. That has got to be a very big positive for the club. And certainly, that is an attitude that we want from our players, a player that wants to come in, a player that wants to play for the club, a player that wants to fight for his place. And that certainly seems to be something that Jack Butland is indicating through what he is saying in the media and what he has said to representatives and to reporters as well down south. Personally, I would welcome Butland. Like I said, I've seen him play. I think he is a good keeper. I think he could certainly bring something to Rangers. I do have a few doubts and a few reservations over McCrory as the number one at this stage in his career. Like I said, the flapping is something that does slightly worry me. Yes, that might be blowing it out of all proportion. I understand that. And I know that Robbie McCrory is a very ambitious man, and he wants to obviously be Scotland number one. He wants to be Rangers number one, and he wants to prove himself. But surely having two excellent players to push each other is something we need at the club. And it's certainly something that Michael Beale has spoken about needing two players for every position of high quality and of equal quality to push each other and to raise the standards at the club as we seek to obviously next season win the SPL title back and bring it back home to where it belongs, as well as obviously the two cups and to challenge in Europe, something that Michael Beale is obviously very keen on. So it does look like the Butland deal could well be done after the FA Cup final this weekend. Okay, also let's congratulate Fashion Sakala. Fashion Sakala has been called up to the Zambia national team for their qualifiers, their AFCON qualifiers. You can see his name down there in the list of strikers. Along with obviously all his teammates, a number of players who play obviously at home in Zambia. There's Frankie Masonda, Air United. There we go, the Scottish-based player there in the team. But there he is, Fashion Sakala, who is in that striker field with Patson Daka of Leicester, obviously who were recently relegated from the Premier League. But congratulations to Fashion Sakala on his selection for Zambia. Well done, Fashion. We wish you all the best in your AFCON qualifiers for Zambia. And no, I am not going to sing the Fashion Sakala song after my Look Who's Back routine earlier. Well, guys, thank you so much again for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. This obviously has been the news. There is obviously other stories in the transfer world at this moment in time. The Jose Cifuentes deal apparently is here, there, everywhere. Again, before I actually talk about that, I'm going to go and look into it a bit more and research and hopefully bring you an update at some point this week about the Cifuentes deal. There is obviously a lot of supposition and a lot of rumor swirling around that deal as well. A reminder that tonight, this evening at 8 p.m. UK time, we have the Glasgow Rangers Nation podcast. It will only be myself. Victoria is busy, but I will be with Maria Bannatyne of Heart and Hand, discussing the St Mirren game, discussing Rangers season, and discussing the future of the club with Maria, and talking about all things Glasgow Rangers. So please come and join us for that podcast. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. Please hit that sub, ring that notification bell, and let's keep this channel growing and moving in the right direction. We always remember, guys, we are the people, and this channel is here for you, the fan, as it is a channel by the fans, for you, the fans, to bring you your team every day.